information to all of our mega packers. Now, hold on. Because that was the creation of the pack to begin with. That's why it's called mega, the ultimate pack. All of the other packs were created with people doing their own research and us providing what they needed with that research in order to go ahead and accomplish what they needed to accomplish. Sorry, like I said, I'm driving on this 2-lane highway and I still have the ignorance of the people who are on the 2-lane highway of having their high beams on. Especially if it's more than one car. So the lead car is usually the one that has the high beams, because the car trailing shows respect and doesn't put its high beams on the car in front of it. So yeah, it's bright enough now so I can see clearly now. You know, I can see the mountains, I can see the skyline, I can see that there are no clouds in the air, but I do see there's a lot of haze from the smoke from the fires up north. You know, the third largest fire in California history. Yeah, that fire. Well, that fire being the third largest, well, that thing is sending smoke everywhere. I mean, there's just smoke everywhere. And because this is the month of August, this is usually the hottest month of the year. So I don't think they're going to be getting control of that fire anytime soon. And I'm sorry for the people who live in the path of this fire. Okay? I really am sorry about that. Because this fire is going to continue to burn out of control. But back to our story, if y'all don't mind. Sorry, I got 1 truck, 2 truck, 3 trucks. Okay, that was the 3rd truck. Everybody's got their high beams on, and they're not even in the front of the line. And the lights are that bright, even at this time of day. I mean, the sun ain't up yet. I haven't even seen the sun come up over the horizon and behind me, but the sun ain't up right now. So these mother having their high beams on. And again, I can do my high beams, but you know, that's tit for tat, and I ain't got time for that. Oh, that almost rhymed. Well, tit for tat is, you know, trying to get even. And I'm not Superfly. I'm not trying to get over. I'm trying to get from point A to point B. So right now I'm doing 45. Like I said, I don't speed. I ain't got no time for it. It's just a ride. All right, back to the hotel, ladies and gentlemen. So here we are. We have our eligible papers, and people are able to use those eligible papers to acquire things. And an exchange where the banks get to take that eligible papers, convert it into a security, and you no longer have a right to that security. But when the banks decided that they wanted to say you still owed money, that means you still have a right to the security because you have not been paying attention. That means you still have a right to the security because you have not been paying attention. That means you still have a right to the security because you have not been fully compensated for the value of your eligible paper. If you don't believe me, go look up what eligible paper is and then go back and reread the March 9, 1933 Act and see what your rights are concerning your eligible papers that you deposited. It's supposed to be at par. So when they're trading it on the market, they don't own the security. You do. You must understand that. And so I came up with a figure for all of the fraud. Remember, all of the member banks of the Federal Reserve, they are all banks. Remember I told you the Federal Reserve, with that act, made everybody banks? Well, when they made everybody banks, that gave you the right to pay attention. That gave you the right, because they made you a bank, that gave you the right. You know what? I got some decisions. Dang it. Sorry. There are 2 ways I could go. There was a fork in the road. I could have gone that way, which would have kept me on my track, kept me on my plan for the day. Or I could go this way, which still keeps me on track, keeps me on my plan, but it's a little bit but I'm going to keep this way. Anyway, because you have the right to recoup, making a lawsuit for $400 billion, and pay attention, and since all of these organizations are members of the Federal Reserve Bank and making it $400 billion per defendant, pay attention, then I want y'all to pay attention. We simply go after each defendant through the Federal Reserve and charge it all to the Federal Reserve. Bonafide debt. So they were serviced the papers and they signed an agreement with the United States Postal Service allowing for electronic signature. Because they get a lot of mail and the postal carrier has to sit there and wait for them to sign every single article of mail. And they're getting all of these certified letters. Thank you guys, those of you who were sending certified letters to the Federal Reserve and the Department of Justice. Y'all have no idea how great y'all is. Man, y'all y'all the best. Simply the best. Better than all. Well, I'm not certain about all the rest because man, I mean that would be me, but that wouldn't be y'all. So we're gonna just say simply the best and leave it there, okay? Because you guys were sending out so many letters, certified mail, and having these idiots sign it. Because it was certified mail, that means they had to physically sign every envelope. Can you imagine getting 1,000 of them in one day? That means you had to assign people to sign for these items. And not everybody was authorized to sign, so that means people's arms were getting tired. Certified mail. So what they did is they worked out an agreement with the post office. Post office said, look, our drivers and everything, they have to come out and deliver that, and they're sitting there for hours with you guys and having to wait. Why don't we do this? Why don't we, because we have the Electronic Signatures Act, why don't we just take your one signature and you give us authorization to just go ahead and stamp the item, and then we'll take care of that for y'all. You don't even got to worry about it. And then we'll still deliver it, but we'll go ahead and put your electronic signature on the envelope. And que sera, sera. Que sera. And they said, you know what? We can do that. That ain't no big deal. I mean, you're still dropping it off. You guys are so-called government agents. Okay, yeah, but we're only going to authorize certain people to do that. We ain't going to just let nobody put our signature. Oh, no. We'll work on a program. Okay, we got that. And so that's what they did. Ladies and gentlemen, ta-da! Let me tell you what you have to do in law, because this is the law. Just so that you guys get it, because not everybody gets it. In law, you have to allow service of process. If you're a corporation, you have the right to sue and be sued. So you have to allow service of process. Pay attention so that you understand. That means if you're going to allow service of process, that means you have to sign certified mail, because most people do certified mail service of process to prove that it was served upon a live person, especially if they're not living in the same area. But when you authorize your electronic signature as the Federal Reserve Board, and pay attention, the Attorney General for the United States have done, when you authorize that electronic signature, you are now waiving your right to be served in person. When you waive a right to be served in person, the requirements for service of process are waived for the opposing party. So, with this lawsuit, I told you we were going to get there. With this lawsuit, they were served on the 8th of July. Today is pay attention, the 8th of August. July, pay attention, has 31 days in it. There's an extra day in July. Holidays and weekends are inclusive. And because July has that extra day for the 31st, then yesterday was the 30th day. Trouble seems so far away. But that was only yesterday, because I believe in yesterday. Okay, now here's the thing, so that you guys get it. Even if they were to file today, understand they're in default. Remember, the courts always use technicalities, so we're going to use technicalities. They're in Washington. They had the right and the option to file. It is 9 o'clock, okay? Our document was served on them right about this time. 9 o'clock, it's 9 o'clock Eastern time. So our documents were served on them right about this time. They had until this time yesterday to file it in the court. Because they did not, it's a technical victory that everybody is $400 billion times 150 richer today, minus the United States corporation and its so-called corporate capacity. The United States has, through the Attorney General, has 60 days. So that's why I'm highlighting this. Now let me explain to you what went on. There's going to be some panic with the attorneys for the opposing party. No, because they didn't know who they were messing with. Excuse me, got to clear my throat. They're going to be panicking because they're not going to realize the thing about the signature. And they're not going to realize that somebody like me would have known about this signature thing. See, their technicalities are on the way the code is written. Well, I told the court, first of all, we're doing this under the rules of common law, not the rules of the court's rules. We don't care about the court's rules or the court's laws. There's the Seventh Amendment petition. And the rules of the common law, well, they're actually written into the court's rules. But we're not following that. We're going to follow just strictly the common law. Excuse me. The rules of the common law, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, there was a creature, I believe it was a bird, just flew into my bumper. He saw the light, and that's the last thing he saw was the light. Hey, I can't help that. And I just saw something fly right by the light, and next thing you know, I looked in the rearview mirror because he could be still on the bumper. I don't know. But all I know is I didn't feel a thump. So hopefully, he just a little dazed. And, he just needs the ref to call a timeout or something. He may not, nobody might, be declaring him overdone and out. But, he gone. He gonna wake up one day. All right, back to the story. So, ladies and gentlemen, the attorneys are going to be panicking because they are not going to expect that the whole thing unraveled on them. See, the clerk of the court did not sign the subpoenas, did not sign the summons. The clerk of the court knows what their duties are when they receive a complaint. See, we paid the filing fee on purpose. This is the same clerk that's been blocking my access to the court. That's why I told you one way or another, no matter what they do, we're taking this to the next court. I just needed to document the process. Because I don't live in the state and because I had to put it in the mailbox, it's deemed filed the moment I dropped it into that box. It's called the drop box rule. And so later today I'll produce that document and then I'll send that off in the mail today as well. You know what I'm saying, dude? And that way they'll get both envelopes at the same time. Dropbox rule. And I'm going to highlight the Dropbox rule because those are the common law rules. You see, they don't want to follow common law. No, they want to follow technicality. Common law doesn't know technicality. Common law just knows common law. And no, I'm not willing to forgive the Federal Reserve. So what I'm trying to say is all of you who have joined the lawsuit, officially you have a bona fide debt. Been trying to say it from the beginning. Because you have a bona fide debt, IRS tax topic 453 says if somebody owes you money, the fact that they owe you means that it wasn't a gift. So if they owe you money, that means you intended for it not to be a gift, but a loan. Then you have the right to get your credits. So go get your credits, y'all. Okay, go get your credits. As I said in a previous video on TikTok, SATCOM, for all of its SAT Packers, every last one of y'all, all the SAT Packers who has received the credits, they will do your 1099-Cs. You'll say, what if I already had a 1099-C done? Oh, no. You get to carry that forward every year. You get to carry whatever 1099-C you did before, you get to carry that forward to the next year. You get to document that debt. Oh, the carry forward. Now let's get technical, since they like to get technical. Let's get technical. When you carry forward a credit, that's the government owing you the benefits of that credit. Because the government owes you that, then you can now bring a claim against the government for that amount and do a 1099. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm saying what you can do as a result of the dynamics of how the credits work out. So, with the suit having been filed, and with the attorneys thinking that we're just going to sit back because the clerk of the court didn't stamp his stuff with their signature and the seal of the court, and they knew they were supposed to do that, and they chose not to do it, and he didn't say anything to them. Don't have to say anything to them. We presented the summons. We presented the correct paperwork to them, the subpoena. We told them we were demanding that the subpoena be signed in blank, and the clerk of the court refused. See, the fact the clerk of the court didn't do it is evidence of their refusal, because we asked them. And because they refused, that's all she wrote. And that's it. No ifs, no ands about it. So they don't get that as an excuse. They were going to use that as an excuse, I promise you. They thought they could use it as an excuse, and I'm begging them to. And the reason why I'm begging them to is because I want to be able to document and demonstrate what I'm capable of. Again, this is what happens. These lawyers who work for these idiots, I keep telling you, in my opinion, they're the smartest people on the planet. I wish that they could sit up there and clone themselves and mass produce the entire existence of humanity with others that are just as intelligent as they are, because then we would have ample reason to know why the planet is in the shape it's in. Okay? They're not the most intelligent people, ladies and gentlemen. They only think they are. And because they have a little bit of money and they know and they have a little bit of influence, they take that, use it, and abuse it. So I don't have to do any of that. All I have to do is take my experience and use it against them. We have some people who are challenging me. I keep saying to people, I'm one of Jehovah's Witnesses. And these intelligent people, sorry, I gotta see if we're still recording. I don't know. Give me a second. And I gotta be careful because I'm going around turns. Yeah, I think we still recording. But I'm just gonna take the time to say, I tell people I'm one of Jehovah's Witnesses. And so we have people doing videos about me, talking about me scamming you all. How could I use the name Jehovah and say I'm one of his witnesses and then be scamming people? Do you know what that does to his name and to the name of his people? Pay attention. We carry the name of the true God, the one that named himself, the one that says he is the Almighty. We carry that name. And how dare I ever try to do something wrong publicly and then display that name and say, yeah, like a banner? Do y'all know the consequences for doing things like that? I don't want to suffer those consequences. Nobody should want to suffer those consequences. But like I said, the people that are saying it don't know me. They're trying to loop me in with all the other people out there, especially the ones who've gotten over on other people. the ones who's taking other people's monies, the ones who's taking advantage of other people. I ain't got time for them, and I ain't got time for the people who are saying these intelligent things, because they're far smarter than I am. There was one guy who spoke about me, and I actually reached out to him and said, I don't know you. I don't remember ever doing anything to you or causing you any problems in your life. So the fact that you would get on a platform and talk about me is mind-boggling. I know that people do it because they want to build their. Oh, by the way, I'll be in the city in less than 10 minutes, so that's how long it takes me. Um, I said the fact that people talk about you, ladies and gentlemen, is because of jealousy. There's no other reason. People only speak about you because of jealousy. There's something about you that either they wish they had, and I know there are so many people who wish they had the knowledge I have, wish they knew the things I knew. They would market it and they would help themselves out, which means it's selfishness. That's coveting. See, you cannot covet my knowledge. You cannot covet me. Okay, my life is good. My life is not great, but my life is mine. I'm satisfied, people. I don't want any more than what I got. I'm not aspiring to be more than what I am. I'm not aspiring to have more than what I have. Okay, I apologize. Back to explaining to y'all what's been going on. I'm hoping y'all gonna get it now, because everybody gets to do their documenting of their credits for the debt that's owed them. That's $64 trillion when it's done correctly. $64 trillion. Oops. When it's done correctly. It is 400 billion times each of the defendants. Okay? Go pull up the lawsuit. We gave you guys the link for it. And it shows every single defendant. You don't even have to have a contract with the other defendants. They are alleged to have been involved in a conspiracy. That's what's going on. So, for all of you who I told you stay out of my business, I'm the one who created the suit. I'm the one who's working this out. I don't need your advice or anything like that. Please understand, as I said before, everybody else and their grandmama could have done this before me. Everybody else and their grandmama didn't. Now, there are other people who were trying to sue the Federal Reserve, but everybody was being selfish. Okay? I did it based on the fact that I wasn't doing it just for me. That's why I said, y'all want to join the lawsuit, just send this to the court. I'll also let you know again, it doesn't matter whether or not the court filed it. This wasn't a filing, ladies and gentlemen. This was your notifying the court. We'll go after the clerk later. That's right, that's what I said. We'll go after the clerk later. We'll get the clerk's attention with the law later. But for right now, the only thing you have to do, can you still send it to the court? Of course you can. The lawsuit's already filed. The default is already documented. Even if the court allows the default to be ignored, to be vacated, it's still a evidence of a debt as required by the Internal Revenue Service. Even if the case goes forward, and it will, it's still evidence as a debt. So yes, you can do your filings. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting to that stop sign, that one that lets me know I was near the city. I ain't quite there yet, but I was near it. This is that stop sign. I'm getting to that stop sign, so what I'm gonna have to do is, I think I'll wait till I get to the office. It's about 6 more minutes in front of me, so I think I'll wait for that because I have a car behind me. And because I have a car behind me, I'm gonna keep on driving and get to where we need to be. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Normally I would turn the video off, but the reason why I'm not doing it is because I'm not on my private dirt road where even if I went off to the side or anything, I ain't damaging nothing. Okay, should never text and drive, and that's almost like texting, trying to find that little button on the side of my screen so that I can push that little button. Okay, it don't make no sense. Sorry, speed limit is 60 on the road that I'm on, and there's a car behind me, and I was doing 40, and that's not fair to him. Okay, that's not fair. I want to bring up something. I just saw a a sofa, a love seat, sitting at a street that nobody lives on. It's just sitting outside. It wasn't there the other day, but it's there now because somebody decided to drop it off there and leave it there. Ladies and gentlemen, why? Well, because they charge so much to have the junkyard come and pick it up, and the trash company charges so much to pick it up, so, they don't even tell you they're not picking it up. Okay, but why leave it out in the middle of nowhere? Why litter? That doesn't make any sense. Why put your junk out in the middle of nowhere? I don't care if you can't afford this, if you can't afford that, then you shouldn't have bought the junk in the first place. That's your junk. Well, it wasn't junk originally. It's only junk now. Exactly. That's your junk. How dare you put your junk off on someone else? Okay, I've seen people throw trash and all of that stuff. That don't make no sense, y'all. It don't make any sense whatsoever. I don't know. Don't understand. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you it's been great coming down that hill, talking to you guys, letting you know about our accomplishment of the lawsuit. Yay! We did it. Now, I needs to go. We will talk to you guys later. Arrivederci. Well, I haven't stopped yet, but I'll be stopped in a minute. So, arrivederci.